Hello everybody and welcome to the Cone Racing League Championship Tier 2. This is round 6 and today we're at Interlagos. And so Q1 will shortly be underway. As per usual, full grid, although I am commentating by myself today. Still looking for a replacement, so hopefully we can get one soon. But at the moment, you're stuck with just me. Okay. Right, so see who goes out on track. Quite a technical one here. Not too many overtaking opportunities, but you've got that first corner dive bomb and then that first DRS zone. But then the overtakes not on those two corners will look very good if we catch them. Okay, so Dragon, soon we're going out on track. Probably a few others, but I haven't caught them yet. There we go. Looks like he's the first man to move. Okay, so at the moment, just Dragon out on track. One of the Williams and Ferrari. Guess would be Alex and Tobes. Yep. These three drivers always seem to like getting out nice and early. Get a lap down. Shit. Dragon, currently third in the championship, I believe. No, second in the championship. He jumped up to second last race after he got third position. Alex, the man top in the championship, 43-point lead. Now, even with our advanced kind of different point system, that still means he could miss an entire race and guarantee he's still leading the championship. But here we go, Dragon about to start his lap. There's more drivers now leaving the pits. Hopefully he won't worry too much about cars on that out lap slowing him down. Although there are some sectors where it can be quite distracting. He does have that. So he does have that Mercedes and Haas just up the road from him, so hopefully that doesn't cause too many problems. That Haas going much slower. That's Luca, one of our reserves. Two reserves today, Luca in the Haas, and the other one is Mercedes of D-Roo, I'm going to call him. That man down in 15th currently. Captain Nick still yet to leave the pit lane. But there we go, only now catching up with Luca, passes him in a good place and might even get some slipstream from Big Bulls. Looks like he has, whether deliberately or not. Big Bulls forced to give it to him as he's about to start his own lap. Here we go, Dragon, first lap set at 107.9. Drop that to Alex then, see if he can challenge that. And he can at 107.5. How about Tobes at 107.8? Up into second, not able to challenge any further. Oh, someone going for a spin there, it looked like. Right, so D-Root on our reserves, starting his first lap. Not sure I've seen him out on track before, so this might be his first race at CRL. It's possible he's got moved up from tier 3 and I'm not aware of him yet, but it'd be interesting to see how he does. Always good to see a new driver, especially with such a close field. That's Error Voice. Slowest time yet, but only 3/10 behind Dragon with a 1:08.2. James Robinson, quite a slow lap, especially from him. Great qualifier. Little one, a 1:08.3. Who else do we have coming towards the line? Luca. 1:07.5 up into second for him, just under 3/10 behind, sorry. See who else we've got. Looks like Big Bulls. Yep, up into 9th. Very slow lap by him. 1:21.8. Must have made a mistake and just pulled out of that lap. But judging by his ERS, he is attempting another lap now. So hopefully he can improve on his last one. So De Roo then, the next man to challenge for the board. It's a 1:08.2, very respectable. In amongst the field. Seems we do have another good driver on our hands. We'll see how he does further into qualifying. Who else do we have? Seems to be setting the lap. Real DC still on his out lap. Ah, Godly Noob. There we go, up to the top at 1:07.5. 7 thousandths ahead of Alex. Jay Hartnell has staying out the way. Yeah. Actually, Captain Nick is, I don't know, he came 6th last race. He's also 6th in the championship, so not doing too bad for him. Although, yet to win a race. I think he's got 1 podium. But of course, only 5 rounds into the season, this being the 6th. See how this goes. Jay Hartnell on the purple middle sector. Although only a 1:07.9, but up to 8, that might be enough to get him through. Lots of times around that range. Yeah, I know that Captain Nick won Russia last season. Right, so let's see, Real DC then. Come around the last corner. I think we might be about to see one of the Hasses. No, Hass into the pits. Sorry, Alfa Romeo into the pits. So a 1:08.1, not too bad, just ahead of his teammate. Just behind that group of people in the high 1:07s. So we're hoping to jump them if he can. Big Balls into the pit lane. Who's that? Tobe's about to start his lap further down. Who else do we have? Sadistic King about to start his lap. This man is the opposite of the Alfa Romeos. His qualifying never seems to be too good compared to his race pace. Well, his race pace is much, much better. And certainly his race strategy. Better than a lot of these other guys. So we'll see how he does this race. I think his best qualifying this season so far has been 15th. I don't think he's finished beneath that, but I may be wrong. But yeah, what? 8 tenths between the top 12, and then just Big Balls with his slower lap. See where Joe Williams slots into all that. What can he do? There's a few cars ahead of him. I think they're going to stay ahead. But as per usual, this league, drivers very good at leaving space. There we go, fractionally late on the power. But not going to cost him much at all. Might even be lucky enough to get slipstream from the Haas. Who was that? I think that was Sadistic King with a 1:08.5. So, 13th, only Big Balls behind him. Haas into the pit as KXI starts his lap, but Jay Williams with the 1:07.8. So, yeah, nearly at the front of the groups with the high 1:07s. There's these 3 really close together up top. Ooh, mistake there by Pheasant Blacker. Yet to set a lap, still needs to get one, although still has 9 minutes left. Luckily does not look like he's got in anyone's way. So there's Sadistic King is going around for another quick one from the looks of things. So we'll see if he can improve. 2.5 tenths up. Maybe looking at challenging error voice, maybe not much more. It depends if he had a bad exit to the last corner, although it didn't look amazing this time. Into the pits for him. Not happy with how much he was going to improve. What else we have then? Pheasant Plucker. Of course, we saw that man spin. Captain Nick starting his first lap. We'll follow Panda as he gets the purple model sector, see what he can do. Quick driver, I believe the Season 2 champion, this being Season 4. A 1:08.6 for him. Similar time to Sadistic King. Interesting that the two previous champions, Sadistic King and Panda, aren't doing too great in qualifying. But here we go, Captain Nick now. What's he gonna do? .107.7. Good lap by him up in the 5th position. That should be enough to get him through. Just one man yet to set his lap. Big Balls gets a 107.4 straight to the front of the pack for him. Big improvement from being at the back with that 120. Now all drivers only 1.2 seconds separating the entire field. Leclerc PR, the only man still to set a lap. So it looks like you're going to need better than a 108 flat to get into Q2. Panda's certainly one of the drivers who needs to improve. A few thousandths down off his first lap. He'll be looking to gain time in other sectors. Ideally he's looking at 3/4 of a second, maybe more time to gain. Of course, didn't see his last lap, so don't know what it was that cost him that time. There we go, now half a tenth up. That'll be enough to get past Sadistic King. So, where is he going to come? Is he going to jump more? No! Only improves by 6 thousandths, not even enough to get himself 18th position. That didn't even look like too bad of a lap either. So, very good field here. Leclerc PR then, the last man to set a lap, and he sets a 107.7 in amongst the field there. Now what, from 2nd to 18th, he's less than 7 tenths. What a wonderful game. Big Ball's happy with his lap. I suspect he should be. Almost certainly safe up there. Looked like Tobes was 9 tenths down, so must have done very bad first sector. Or the game is telling a fib. Try and jump aboard someone else. So Real DC coming towards the line. He's nearly 3 tenths up, and that will get him up quite a few places. There we go, up into 10th for him. That knocks the little one out. Gets himself a bit deep into the first corner, but of course that doesn't matter during qualifying. So Sadistic King then crosses the line. He's improved a bit, but only enough to close his gap to the rest of the field, not enough to jump anyone. Now he needs a 10th on his previous best. But of course, still not enough to get through to Q2 for him. It's both Tobes and Daru into the pits. Joe Williams soon to be starting his lap. Who else do we have out on track? Which McLaren's that? That's Leclerc PR. Leclerc PR in a fairly safe position at the moment. Suspect the man will be going through to Q2. Of course, anything can happen. So here we go. How's the improvement so far? Purple model sector at about 10th down, which may mean the purple model sector is the line. Does a slightly slow running ahead. We're going to be pulling into the pit lane. Who's that? Statistic King. Oh, he's following suit. She's just 10th down. Decides not worth it. Nearly has to crash into the pit lane, but avoids it. It's Carl about to start his lap. Right, who else do we have then? Ooh. Ah, that's not ideal for Godly Noob. He steered a bit through the last corner, and now he's going to struggle with going slow. Interesting, he's still going round though. Yes, the man who wants a bit of practice, happy with where he is. No shame for some last minute practice. You take it if you're given it. So who's that? Real DC then. And he's about half a tenth up. Half a tenth could be a couple of positions, maybe more. There we go, up into 5th for him. 107.5. That will almost certainly be enough. Panda needs to improve. It's currently Jay Hartnell, the man at risk, is out on track. Who else we got? Error Voice, also to try and improve. As is Panda, who's just behind Error Voice. We'll follow Jay Hartnell, who's a 10.5 up, a 10.5 from there. We're looking to be, what? Actually, that looks like we came out 3 positions. So I believe that was Godly Noob up into 2nd with a 107.5. I may be wrong about which driver that was though. So Jay Hartnell a 107.7, and that is up to 12th for him. Right on the board, it's uncertain if he'll be safe or not. Right, we've got, which Ferrari is that? Pheasant Puck across the line, a 107.5, up to 2nd for him. He'll be safe with that lap. Air Voice looking to gain 2 tenths. That might be enough. No, only 17th. It does have time for another lap. CRL Panda then. Jay Hartnell also had a small improvement. CRL Panda 108 flat. Gained 6 tenths, but it's only enough to get him a couple of positions. Alex, another man, happy with his lap. Air Voice not going to attempt to improve. Will be qualifying 17th or lower, not making it through to the next qualifying. Same with Panda, who's invalidated this lap. Carl and Sadistic King both attempting to improve. KXI is really pushing it a bit. Is he going to make it to the line? I think he just about will. Golly Noob, another driver, happy with his lap. It's going to be close. I don't think, no, he won't. He's not made it to the line. He will not be moving through to the next qualifying session. I believe that just leaves Carl and Sadistic King then left. Sadistic King 2 tenths up. That might only be up to 19th position. Let's see where he goes. 108 flat, up to 18th position to his credit. Kyle then. Oh no, Kyle's way higher, I think. Yeah. A 107.7, and it looks like that man is just safe unless Jay Williams can jump him, and actually he might. It's going to be close between the two of them. Who's it going to be, Jay Hartnell or Jay Williams? It's Jay Hartnell who's knocked out. Jay Williams gets in 107.7, and he will be moving through to the next qualifying session. So that gives you a bottom 5. CRL Panda, Sadistic King, Air Voice, KXI and Jay Hartnell, both racing points knocked out. Kyle through by 4 thousandths. And Air Voice with exactly 108 flat. Sadistic King 1 thousandth behind him. Look at how close together some of these top times are. we go. Derouge. Also, Deroux with the fastest time so far. Still not massively out ahead of the field, so here's our bottom 5. The man was 3/10 off and he didn't qualify. That is utterly ridiculous. The entire field, just over half a second between them, but even 3/10 would not have been enough to make it through to Q2, showing just how close the field is. One small mistake will catch you out. This will be a very interesting Q2 if it keeps up like this. Wow. Right, on to Q2. Let's hope it's just as close. Sure, it's quite stressful for our drivers though. That little between them, but my goodness, that is ridiculous. Right, Godly Noob, Jamie Robertson going out on track, as is Tobes. Who else do we have? Just those 3 for the moment. Still can't believe that 3/10 wasn't enough. Can imagine if actual F1 was that close. Okay, so here we go. Now the Alfa Romeo is very, very good at qualifying. Quite often you'll see Godly Noob giving Jamie Robertson a slipstream on one lap. Of course, at the moment a Ferrari between the two of them, but for pole, I'm not sure. I don't know how quick Deroux is. He got the quickest time in Q1, but of course I haven't really seen him on track before, so there's a chance he'll get it. You can never discount the Alfa Romeos or Alex TG. Dragon stands a good chance. Tobes. If I had to pick one person, I think I'm going to stick it on. I can't remember what Tobes got in this one, but I think maybe this might be a track he would do well at. But here we go, Godly Noob about to cross the line. Well, start his lap. See what he can do. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you look at all these drivers and you think, that driver's usually up there. None of them are slow. I mean, the fact they're all within 3/10 shows it. Godly Noob invalidating his lap. But it does look like it's who can make the least mistakes, who can get that one lucky corner, as to who's going to get pole. I know that nerves get to quite a lot of these drivers in Q3. So Q2 is usually the most competitive. Despite the fact they're all within 3/10 in Q1, I suspect that P10 will be quite far behind P1 in Q3. Godly Noob staying out of the way of his teammate. CRC I has not yet started. Their qualifying will be underway in about 6 minutes. I know their stream comes up slightly earlier. I don't know if it's up yet. No, yeah, their qualifying isn't up yet. That'll be starting shortly. Ooh, Jamie Robertson taking a spin. That's both Alfa Romeos making a mistake. And a reset to track, which I don't think they're supposed to do. And the fact he's had that caught live on the stream is not going to do him any good. So, but anyway, Tobes with the 107.6. That's not a bad lap from what we've seen so far today. Yeah, interesting choice by Jamie Robertson to reset to track there. Wonder what the stewards have to say about that. Okay, who else do we have then? Kyle invalidated his lap. Luca 107.6. The little one, first man we've seen on mediums, and he got a 108.3 with them, so it's not too bad. Depends how many other drivers choose to use mediums if we'll make it through to the top 10. Claire PR 107.6. Deroux, a very good lap on the mediums at 107.8. That might be enough for the top 10. Who else do we have then? Alex TG, the next man towards the line. Followed closely by Jay Williams. So Alex, a 107.7. Wait, who was it that said? Oh, Dragon went into the pits. Unless I got the wrong driver, which I very well may have. Looks like Haas's, so Alfa Romeo's up for round 2 and they get a 107.3. That man is through probably. Yep, there we go, the other Alfa Romeo improving a 107.7. Currently a second split between the field, far more than what we saw in Q1. Oh. Jay Williams up to 8th at 107.8. Sorry for jumping between the cars so much. DeRue slightly improves his lap by 107.6, 4 thousandths ahead of Jamie Robertson. Going to try and find a man on a quali lap. Doesn't look like any of them are at the moment, to be honest. Is this Mercedes into the pit lane for Big Bulls? Right. It looks like Saney's got some damage. Can't see any front wing damage. There's also very low on fuel, and after doing 2 laps, probably be coming into the pit lane. Yep, into the pit lane for him. Dragon just started his laps, so stay on board with him. Very nice track into Lagos. Of course, it hosted that wonderful, in fact, quite a lot of season finales where it came down to the line. Certainly the one I remember is 2007, where Kimi got it by 1 point against both McLarens. So Dragon, one of the drivers using mediums, currently for them instead of lap on mediums, although having looked, seems really seen the little on the base switched to the softs. And Pheasant Plucker, interestingly, said a lap on the softs and has now gone on to the mediums. So it seems to be doing it a bit upside down, but we'll see if it works for him. So now, Dragon towards the line. Where's he gonna get? Guess a high 107. 108 flat for him, into 11th position. Needs to improve that if he wants to get through on the mediums. Although I believe Dragon's one of the people who happily settle for a low teens in the medium tyres and then work his way up during the race. Captain Nick having invalidated his lap, Carl only just starting his. Who else do we have on track then? Looks like Dragon on speed looking to improve. No, validated his lap. Pheasant Plucker. So yeah, last race's winner was our current driver at the fastest time, Godly Noob. Although the fastest lap last race went to Big Bulls, who DNF'd. Right, hop aboard with Kyle. This man's yet to set a lap. Got himself a purple middle sector. Again, I don't know if middle sectors showing are correct or not. So 107.7, not too bad for him. That might be enough. A lot of kind of 107.6s down to 107.8s. Very close field there. Stop paying attention. Who's the other driver watching? Pheasant Plucker. Well, I don't believe he improved. One of the Alfa Romeos. Jamie Robertson. Just starting his lap. Who else do we have? Captain Nick now finally out the pits with only 6 minutes to go. Hasn't left himself too much time. Little one about to start his lap. Alex Ducci also about to start his lap. Which one's that? I think Pheasant Plucker also about to start his lap. As is Godly Noob. Sorry, Toby's about to start his lap, was what I meant that time, not Pheasant Plucker. Pheasant Plucker about to finish an invalidated lap. I suspect he'll pull into the pit lane here. Maybe to put on some softs, maybe for another set of mediums for a bit more practice. That might be enough. A 107.6, he might be going through to the top 10 on the mediums. We'll see. Daru certainly proven to be a quick driver this time. Now looking more and more like he might be the man who gets pole. And if you can do it on the mediums, that could definitely help him strategy-wise. Interlagos, not too prone for heavy incidents. As long as no one pulls a Hamilton and decides to dive bomb a certain man from Thailand. So the little one across the line, on the softs this time, 107.7 up to 10th, right on the line for him. As Alex gets fastest lap with a 107.2, up in Godly Noob there. Captain Nick, the last man to sell a lap. Likely go straight around for another lap. Wait, I'm blind. DeVries' lap was not on the mediums. Apologies for that. Daru now setting a 107.3. Up into third for him. Very safe lap. Captain Nick now about to set his first lap, and he gets himself a 107.5. Now that might be enough for him. I feel now all starting to get better laps, starting to bunch up a bit, but of course those three front runners quite far ahead of the rest of the field. Oh, it looks like Godly Noob is trying to improve this lap. Slight improvement in the first sector. We'll see how he did in the second sector. Oh, that Mercedes may be very badly placed. No, brakes, moves out the way. Good sportsmanship. He's a 10th up. Will be enough. He gets a good last corner to get him up to the front. Don't know how much the Mercedes distracted him and compromised that last corner. As soon as he comes towards the line, no slipstream. Certainly plenty of DRS, ERS. He does improve. A 107.1 takes that front position. Okay, then who else do we have trying to challenge for anything? Pheasant Plucker about to start another lap. He'll be looking to improve. Needs just over a 10th to get into the top 10. Maybe more to get into the top 10 and be permanently safe though. Only has time... I know he has time for 3 more laps. But he can't really afford to pit. Doesn't want to spin. He's a 10th up already. That's good news for him. Just shy of a 10th up. Jay Williams up to 8th with a 107.6. Real DC 3.5 tenths up after the second sector. Only up to 13th with a 107.8. It's improvement by him. Though of course now on the soft compound instead of the mediums. Godly Noob into the pits. Pheasant Plucker looking to be about 3 tenths up. And that 3 tenths, while not too much, may be enough to get him into the top 5. And it is up to 4th for him, a 107.5. If you ignore the top 3 drivers, from 4th down to 13th is 2.5 tenths. Dragon, nearly half a second up. Similar time to Pheasant Plucker. Okay, when I said similar time, that wasn't quite what I meant, but exactly the same time as Pheasant Plucker. It seems fractions of a thousandth better. We'll see if that shows in the gap versus interval. Yeah, there you go. Shows him as being 1,000th closer to the leader. That's what happened at the same time. Interesting. Is that Luca? One of our reserves again, and 1:07.2 for him. And that's a good lap. Seems the times keep improving here. So the little one looking to be half a tenth up. That might gain him in position. We're hoping to gain more than that though. Jay Williams not going to be able to improve here anymore. Oh, and he cuts the pit lane entry. And now he's braking, I believe, not enough fuel. That is a shame for him. Went too close to the sun and got burnt. Kyle invalidated his lap and he won't make it to the line. So that is our bottom three decided. Real DC also not going to make it to the line. And Clerpiar invalidated his lap. So we have our bottom five. Clerpiar, Real DC, Jay Williams, Kyle and the little one. None of them able to improve. And that is a shame for them. Captain Nick through by 17 thousandths. And these two in 8th and 9th have got identical times. Okay. So yeah, the field more spread out that time. Oh, I say more spread out. If you look at the entire field, what do we have between them? What's that? Less than 6/10 between the entire field. Although that's still double what there was in Q1 between the top 15. So yeah, Q3 will be starting hopefully fairly soon. A few drivers in the pits who their retire will speed it up, but if not, then got about a minute and a half to go. So now the excitement from that qualifying session is worn off, I'll give a quick reminder of the current championship results, or championship standings, sorry. So Alex DG taking the lead, 43-point lead, and by the way I should point out that it's 40 points for a win. With down to 15th place getting points. Dragon in second with 100. Then Tobes just behind him. Then the little one, Godly Noob, Captain Nick, Real DC and Big Balls on the same score. Error Voice and Pheasant Pluck on the same score. Jay Williams, Sadistic King, Kyle, KXI, Clerpiar, ISR Sprunky, Jay Hartnell, Jamie Robertson, Dane and CRL Panda. Who actually started in Tier 1. They got relegated down after that third round when they reseated some people to help balance out the tiers, and it certainly seems to have worked, judged by how close together people are. So here we go, entire field very close together, not much between these two, but 4/10 was enough this time. Some very close times going on, as I said. So hopefully we'll see the progression of time gains continue into Q3. See how the pressure affects our drivers, but of course top 10 will all be starting the race on softs, unless it decides to rain. Certainly rain might throw a spanner into the works of the field this close together, we'll see. And it seems that Q3 has decided to rain. Spanner in the works. Right, I'll stick it on fitted tyres. I think most people are going to be happy to stay on soft for the moment unless the rain gets heavier. But drivers almost, I suspect most of them will be trying to rush out to get a lap in before the rain potentially gets heavier. Because if you can get a dry lap in before anyone else can get one in, that puts you at a huge advantage. Luca first went out of pits, followed by Alex, one of the Alfa Romeos, Tobes, and the two Mercedes with Captain Nick, Pheasant Plucker, following right behind. Dragon, the only man to opt for the inters. So we'll see if that benefits him or not. It is right on that limit, it's hard to say. But these drivers will be better at judging that than me. So we'll follow on board, see how much it affects his grip. Yep, apparently it does, okay. So I might see plenty of invalid laps or cars sliding around. Here we go, round the last corner. Gets in the power slightly too early, that rain getting to him. We'll see soon if Dragon made the right decision, it'll be fairly obvious. So he'll either be 2 seconds behind or 2 seconds in front of the field. Certainly rain slowing down the softs. Is it speeding up the inters enough? And a lot of the field bunched up in a rush to get out before it gets too wet. I think this completely changes. He would have got the pole. Not sure who it would have been, but of course wet weather driving very different. And there we go, a mistake by Luca. That'll cost him a lot of time. Oh, is that a bit of side-by-side action? Yeah. Captain Nick and Big Balls are racing mid-qualifying. For track position, Captain Nick a mistake there. Neither driver wanted to pull out of their lap. We're not even starting the race yet and already it's getting underway. Looks like Captain Nick's pulled out, no longer using his full ERS. How about Big Balls? He is. We'll hop back on board with Luca, although of course the man's not going to set too quick a lap. Probably about 1:14. Maybe higher. Yeah, oh, much higher. A 1:17 flat for him. And Alex a 1:16.2. Golly Noob a 1:15.9. Tobes a 1:17.1. Deru 1:16.1. Big Balls a 1:19.2. Captain Nick a 1:18.5. First Plucker must have invalidated his lap. And Jamie Robertson a 1:17.5. So it just leaves Dragon. Now this is important as to where he comes. I think he might beat the lot of them. Ooh, no, in amongst the field. 1:16.6, now that does show that inters are a perfectly valid tyre to use. And Dragon, not a slow man to qualify, but I think that might mean that drivers want to get onto inters fast. Now that is interesting, it's right in amongst it. Perfect on the balance, so the rain looks to be getting visually heavier now. Not sure which the drivers will still be pushing here. Suspect Pheasant Plucker will be. We'll see a lot of them going to the pits for inters after seeing what Dragon did. Big Balls moving out the way with a little slide and a spin and nearly catching out. Which driver was that? That'll be Alex. That's one in front of. So Pheasant Plucker with a 1:23.6. That is not a very healthy sounding car. I don't know why. Might be because it's a Ferrari 2020. Meanwhile, Dragon not quite able to improve his lap, but not far off. Stay on board with him for a moment though, get an idea of how the inters are doing. Tobes opting for the inters, as is Luca and Godly Noob. Of course, rain being rarer, I'm not quite too sure who the wet weather wizards of this tier are. Present Plucker moving out of the way now. Almost all drivers swapped over to the Inters, everyone but Daru within the pit lane. Of course, Pheasant Plucker still out on track. They're dragging the second and a half down. It does look like it's fairly likely times won't improve anymore throughout the session. This might be our grid. Pheasant Plucker may stand a chance at nabbing a better position on the Inters, but I don't think Dragon will improve here. No, 117.7. They'll actually improve his last sector. Can't improve the rest of it. I've avoided Alex then. Who is that? Is that Tobes? Tobes will be the first man who set his first lap on the softs. I'll change it over to best and see what they set their lap on. But everyone but Pheasant Plucker currently on the Inters. So he'll be the first man who originally set his lap on the softs. Now using the Inters. We'll see what he can do. Not sure if we've seen an improvement. Okay, doesn't look to be too bad. See how he's doing after the second sector. I think that's where it'll be gained or lost on the grip. Also on the straights, it's more down to setup and corner exit. Here, you have to keep speed throughout the corners, not just out of them. So at the end of the second sector, is he up or down? He's up half a second. Interesting. Well, that half second, actually might only gain in one position because he's quite far behind Dragon. Field more spread out under the rainy conditions. But I think he'll jump past Luca. Yep, there we go. 116.7. So Inters are quicker than the softs were. That's something to definitely keep an eye on then. Luca managed to validate his lap. May have been an improvement, of course, went slow through the last sector. Alex 0.3 down, but he had a very quick lap on the softs. So, yeah, does not improve his lap on the softs. Captain Nick with the next man attempting to improve. He's 2 seconds up. And that 2 seconds might put him up to 4th position, maybe higher, up into 2nd for him. So that's front row potentially for him. If the brain gets heavier, that benefits the guys up front. Godly Noob might already have a certain pole, but Daru 9/10 up. That 9/10 looks at getting him into a 5th position. If he can gain more, then he's right behind quite a big group with low 116s, and he does get past that group. 116 flat up into 2nd for him, knocking Captain Nick off the front row. Pheasant Plucker had 1.8 seconds improvement in the first sector. That is a rather large improvement for one sector. Who'll be the next man to the line? Luca with the line. Improves, doesn't jump in position, a 116.9. Alex validated his lap. Captain Nick's coming around again for another swing. Oh, not allowed to do a line, into the pits for him then. Dragon, 10th and a half up. That 10th and a half is very crucial where he is. Up to 2nd, a 116 flat. Which Ferrari is that? That's Pheasant Plucker. Pheasant Plucker up to 6th. Alex has chosen to retire. Clearly not a fan of the rain. They keep falling down the order though. This Big Balls jumps him. The next man, Daru looking to improve. I think he will improve. Up to the front for him, a 117.7. Seems the Inters getting better and better. Godly Noob. I think he'll just improve. Drivers seem to be quite quick on the last sector on the Inters now. There we go, up to the front for him, a 1:15.6. That is the fastest time we've seen. Jamie Robertson improves to 1:15.5. Sorry, 1:16.5. And Luca invalidates his lap. So Dragon, the original man on the Inters, showing how they worked, leading the way. Now on very old Inters. Should they very old Inters, or that's just the lap he set them on? No, they're still the same old Inters. Pheasant Plucker, another invalidated lap. Big Bull's another invalidated lap. As is Daru, they're all doing it. Tobes on an out lap. Jamie Robertson might be able to set a lap. Hopefully we'll see someone successfully cross the line. It looks like Godly Noob might be the next man to cross the line. It looks like he might improve as well. 6,000ths up after the first sector. See how he did after the second. Oh, very down. Okay. He will not be improving on his lap. Or Jamie Robertson will. Now he's going to be right in amongst the group in the low 1:16s. And he's got some slipstream to aid him here. What's that going to do? He's going to be now from A1-2 on the grid. No, 16th at 1:27. Sorry, 1:16.2. Don't know why I said 1:27. 5,000ths behind Big Bulls. Who's our next man to the line then? Luca into the pits. Captain Nick. I think he improved to 1:16.1. May have just said that. Dragon looking like he might try and get onto the front row here. It's going to be close. Of course, the conditions almost perfect for the Inter tyre here. A 1:16 flat. It looked like he ran out of fuel towards the line. You could hear the engine bring down the power. Big Bulls, don't think he's too likely to improve. No, 2.5 tenths down for him. How about Tobes? Tobes will improve. Tobes might only get himself one position. No, he does. In multiple. Where did he end up? Up to 4th for Tobes. That knocks Captain Nick down to 5th then. Yep. So here we go. Alex actually managing to stick it there with his time on softs. You can see here the Inter's clearly the better tyre. And a good call there by Dragon from the start. Gave himself more laps, which on wet surfaces like this, always good. It's hard to get a good lap stringed together. So Godly Noob with the pole lap. Daru in second. And Dragon, Tobes, Captain Nick, Big Balls, Jamie Robertson, Alex, Pheasant Plucker and Luca. Interestingly, both reserves in the top 10, one of them on the front row. Aha, nice dry sunny day. That's not good. I don't know what it's doing. Someone did mention it said it was migrating host. I don't know if that's what's causing this. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Not sure what's going on. I'll let you know if I hear anything. It does sound like the drivers are having something a bit odd. It said it was migrating host for the real DC. Now it's stuck, saying please wait. Cyril Panda left the session, that might fix it. Sadistic King saying he's still in the lobby. Okay, I'll keep you updated. Watch from the heavens of Tier 1. Go on, how much are they destroying these times by? How are you doing? Oh, you're in 8th at the moment. Looks like you're safe into Q2. Okay, hopefully this will get sorted fairly soon. They might end up restarting the lobby, we will see. Does the pause button work? No, that's never a good sign. Okay, well the PS button will always work, so if need be, I'll have to restart the app, and that will mean the stream is restarted. Oh, no, it's working now. Hey, how about that? Seems Panda getting kicked and rejoining seems to fix it all, so... Don't know what caused that. Sorry for the brief inconvenience, but the race will get underway shortly. Wait, is that still 20 drivers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it looks like 20. We're always getting the shout out from, what, Single Track 74? Okay, onto the formation lap then. A nice dry Brazilian day. I'll do my user trip. I will leave it on tyre for the out laps. We can see what strategies people are using. Then I will stick it onto position change for the first few laps, so you can see the big gainers and losers. And then we will go back to tyre to keep an eye on the strategy. But at a very close field. All 20 drivers appear to be present and correct, which is good news. So you can see only Claire PR and Jay Hartnell and Sadistic King opting for the medium tyre. Everyone else going for the soft tyre. It's like there's two strategies there. So yeah, unfortunately, because Panda joined during the thing, he's apparently not able to get back into his car yet, and so he's going to have a slow start, because if you rejoin onto your car during the formation lap, it gets a bit glitchy. So he knows that and he's waiting. So sadly, actually he's in 20th anyway, that won't affect him too much. Of course, he doesn't want to get ditched by the pack, although on soft tyres behind a driver, on mediums for a driver of his speed, don't think that'll be too much of a problem, but we'll see. All 20 present and correct. Panda got kicked and then rejoined, and when he rejoined it fixed whatever the problem was, so it appears we have an entire grid. There we go, all lined up. Only Panda ghosted, but currently in the lobby, so that's good. Oh, that is not Panda. That's still not Panda. Oh no, Panda wasn't the lead. Godly noob. And here we go. That appears to be a good start by Big Balls, and the leaderboard is completely broken. That appears to be Daru trying to go up the inside. I don't know if everyone's goes to the drivers, but Daru up to the lead. There's a spinner there. There's a Red Bull. There's a few drivers having problems there. Tobes in second. I can't tell any more than that because I can't see the next car. Panda's disqualified from the session. This is not an ideal start. Well, Panda's still on the grid. Interesting. Okay, Captain Nick in third. There's been a safety car. Looks like Luca, the reserve, has gone off wide and, yeah, been hit into the wall. Didn't see that accident, but couldn't see much going on. In that mighty old mess, Aerovoice has gained 10 positions and Dragon has lost 15. Pheasant Plucker also losing 8. I assume there's a bit of dead front wing in there. Likely one of the drivers who spun on one of the first couple of corners. What a chaotic start. All drivers started the race. As you can see, 2 of them are already gone. Panda, I'm not sure if it's his fault he got disqualified, but Luca had a bit of a hug with the wall. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers into the pits. And the interval's completely broken here. Students use the trick of saying lap 3 when it's lap 2. Yeah, a few laps of safety car then, after Luca's incident. Didn't see what caused that, sadly, but... yeah. Yeah, from what I'm reading, Luca did not see someone on his left side, so I assumed he turned in, spun himself on the back of someone's, on the front of someone's car, and from there went off into the wall. Wait, hang on, wait. Trying to work out what people are. Okay, so, not sure how many laps of safety car there'll be. But once we get onto lap 3, the board, having all its fun glitchiness, will fix itself. There we go, no longer an interval of 1 minute. Which is always good news. Interestingly, a couple of drivers choosing to pit here. Change your heart into the strategy. That's Pheasant Plucker and Aerovoice. A lot of drivers opting for the mediums. Drew currently in the lead. Godly Noob down a lot of places actually. Yeah, Godly Noob down 6. You can see most of the guys up front in gained positions. Certainly Real DC and Carl have done well out of this deal. And then hopefully we're back under racing shortly. So yeah, it's a shame for Panda getting disqualified. Doesn't look like he had any control over that whatsoever. Alright, so safety car will be in this lap. And we'll get underway racing again. Let's see when Daru chooses to go. Still not flat. See when he decides doesn't want to cause an incident. Like, was it Magello? Still not going, holding up the field down. Now he's gone, and it looks like he got a good getaway. Pulling away from Tobes, although now reeling him in as he uses his ERS. While Daru preserves his playing the long game. Carl and Real DC, well, they're side by side. Go back to this camera. Bit of contact between the McLaren and Godly Noob. That's Claire PR and Godly Noob. Looks like the other Alfa Romeo threw Alfa Romeos up to 6th and 7th. Stop being broken, camera. Still very close pack here. 2 Alfa Romeos right toe to tail. And the entire field of train at the moment. Jay Hartnell, no, outsides. A very aggressive lunger. They could have gone quicker into that corner. The little one seeming to make quite a big mistake through that corner. Jay Hartnell gained. There's a good chance of getting him on the straight. Oh, but a better exit by Jay Hartnell, and that might mean Sadistic King stands a chance. Though big balls, Alex TG seems more likely. As Tobes gets himself the fastest lap. And the little one, interestingly, into the pit lane. I don't know if that was contact earlier. I know there was a bump between the other McLaren, not that one. And unable to get through these big balls, but Dragon might be able to get back through. Said that, Alex side by side. Big balls around the outside. Dragon also looks like he's trying to get a piece of this. Sadistic King, no, stays ahead of Dragon. Although now very respectfully leaving him room, perhaps too much room. But has the inside here, needs to make sure he gets ahead. Otherwise he's unlikely to keep that position into the final corner. So he forced to leave quite a bit of room here. And no, does not keep that position. We're going to move further up the field now. Looking for battles further up. Jay Williams must have made a mistake at the exit of that corner. Okay, Excite. This looks like he lifts a bit trying to get past. DRS now enabled. Nice clean overtake by the Racing Point driver. Godly Noob. Just to hunt down Kyle. Field's starting to spread out more now. Doesn't look like not quite able to get the overtake done. He got very close from that corner from the look of the timing interval. Not close enough. Goes a bit deep through there. Error voice might look for something. No, lifts a bit. Plays it safe. Yeah, no, it's starting to fall back a bit then again. Needs to work on gaining that gap. Reel him in again. Now we might see Golly Noob get past Kyle here. He's got his DRS and his ERS. Kyle aggressively trying to keep the inside line, but not quite closing the door enough. Golly Noob through. Kyle looking for the cutback. Not able to get it. And he's actually slightly too close to get the cutback, it seems. Yeah, a little bit of contact there. Already's alongside. Wait, where has he gone? Oh, it's the car in front. Oh, he actually got past, that's why I went to that car. Golly Noob holds it around the outside, a little bit of contact again there. Amazed there's been no flying front wings. Golly Noob, it seems he's got the pass complete. And now actually be back in the Haas. Into his teammate behind, whether deliberately or not. Okay, now Tobes unable to pull a lead away from Daru, although at some point when I wasn't paying attention there was a lead change because Daru was the man in the lead. That is a mistake by Jay Williams, another one. We saw a small one earlier, but that mistake's cost him a lot more time and a lot more positions than just the one he lost before. Don't know if that was due to contact or what, but just try and get his head down and gain that time back. Like Daru, good entry speed into there, but quite slow out that corner, not following the slow and fast out rule. Oh, I think we just saw some flying front wing, and judging by the lack of downforce, yep, that was the Alfa Romeo into the back of the Haas. And he'll be needing to pit on a track like this. That much front wing damage. Just wants to minimise time loss now. Potentially slow down some opponents while he's crippled himself. So how close is KXI? Might be close enough. Certainly look for something. Looks up the inside. Ooh. They can't quite get it. Very respectful driving between the two of them. Not able to get the move done. Looks here again. And that appears to be a move done and complete. Although, can he hold it around the outside? It's not going to be a very nice camera angle, but no, not quite. Clerpion not back through. KXI confirms that position he got. Dragging up the inside of Big Balls. Seems to be very good overtaking into this corner. That wasn't something I was particularly expecting to see overtakes. I guess there is a bit of a run up towards it. Tobes still holding the lead. Currently third in the championship. Finishes here, he'll definitely jump up to second ahead of Dragon and help close that gap on Alex. Oh, we've got our first penalty. Also have Daru getting into first and Tobes trying to challenge back. Sorry I missed that original overtake. And Captain Nick's not too far behind either. All three of them going at it. Mercedes, Ferrari, Renault and it appears an AlphaTauri trying to join in as well. All very close together. See if any of them can get moved and down the straight here. Captain Nick appears to be the most likely to get an overtake on Tobes. Is it going to happen? A few drivers now actually pitting for hards. Should have stuck it on tyres earlier. But Captain Nick not able to get the move done. Still gaining more time, closing that gap to look for a better overtaking opportunity. Trying to gain too much time, actually pulling away a bit from Real DC because all still in DRS range. But all the while these guys are actually not fighting too heavily, so they are able to keep Godly Noob and KXI off that back. Of course that is that other group further back here. I think this is a fairly big group, is it? KXI down to Dragon on speed, all in a bit of a DRS train. Yep. The Dragon needs to be careful not to be dropped off the back. I'll hop back up to the front. See if we can see any overtakes into the first corners. Daru pits. Tobes inheriting the lead. Captain Nick not close enough to go for the move. Might look for it here. Both drivers not very good with the amount of ERS they have. Now that Tobes on the grass for a bit. That might be enough. Yet Tobes doesn't hold around the inside. Could have given him slightly less room, but instead plays it safe. Leaves him enough room, and Captain Nick through to the lead. Of course, pit stops, and while these guys are fighting, that just puts Daru at an advantage on the hard tyres. Although these guys might be going for the soft, medium strategy. Okay, so is Tobes going to get that lead back? See here, we might see some of these guys pitting for hard tyres. No, none of the top three. It seems they might be committed to that soft, medium strategy I mentioned. Carl closing the lap very massively against KXI. Don't know what KXI was doing there, but caught sleeping. Loses a lot of time to the guy behind him, and ooh, that's a mistake by him there again. Catches the curve funny. Uses ERS to stay ahead. Kyle seems he's got very good ERS management compared to some of the other drivers. Still this long train. What caused that safety car? I think it might have been these two further down the order, not too sure. Jamie Robson onto the green stop there. Interesting choice of line. So I'm not too sure when these guys are going to pit on their softs. They can't go too much longer. But still choosing to go around for another lap. But as I always say, these guys are much better than me at both the strategy and racing elements. KXI into the pits on his softs. Dragging through into 8th past Jay Hartnell. Interesting. I don't know what caused that. I have before seen it where a spectator driver and their revs are constantly maxed. I believe that was just F1 2019. 3 drivers very close together here. Might see a move happening, maybe not though. Race win at the moment, I think I'd stick it on Daru. These guys up front are battling. I mean, any of the current top 4 all on the same strategy, any of them can get through. Nick stands a good chance for podium, as does any of the top 4. I think Nick obviously in the best position of the drivers on that strategy, being out front. It does look like it's going to be Daru. It depends how long he can make his hard tyres last, if he can avoid too many problems further down the field. I mean, I'd say Nick's currently on target for a 2nd position. It looks like these guys are actually going soft medium. So Peoples gets fastest lap, although where he is, that won't count. Well, that won't be valid for the bonus point you get for fastest lap. Drivers have to be in the top 10 to receive that. Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I don't know the race strategy too well around here, so it's perfectly possible that Daru's strategy isn't going to work that well when Captain Nick's got the win. Of course, with 4 of them battling for it. Oh, and that is Godly Noob into the pits now. So this front herd thinning down, which gives the people still out on track an advantage. Another driver on the softs. Now this is going to be a good example. I really hope it does not keep doing that max RPM problem. So yeah, you can see the mediums now better than the old softs. To be fair, Nick seems to put it into the wall less than he used to. He certainly never was quite the standard of the Jack and walls, but he certainly looks like he's on for a good race at the moment. So we'll see if these front guys decide to go into the pit this time. I can't get much longer on these softs. I know I said that like 5 laps ago, but now I mean it. Captain Nick, yep, into the pits. Tobe's not into the pits, Godly Noob into the pits. So Tobe staying out another lap on the old softs. We'll see where Captain Nick comes out. Carly into the pit lane. That puts Alex ahead. Of course, he is on fairly old medium tyres and he'll be looking to change to the soft soon. So Captain Nick, it's a question of can he come out in front of anybody else who doesn't need to pit again. And he is behind Daru and somehow behind Real DC. Must have had a bad pit stop then. Yeah, Daru and Real DC ahead of Captain Nick. Ooh, also a bit of battle going on here. Now the top 7 drivers also need to pit, which puts Daru provisional first. However, he's on older tyres and he's on softer tyres. And that is going to come back to bite him. And also he's encountering traffic on slower tyres. And presumably a slight slower race pace as they started further back. We'll see how this all goes up down. So not too many overtakes from this group yet, although still all nose to tail. Tobes finally pits, and I think he's going to come out further back. Where is he compared to Captain Nick? Nearly alongside, but he's going to come out behind. Godly Noob slots him behind, yeah. Maybe a mistake waiting one more up. So the traffic causing problems here for the leaders. Or provisional leaders when you discount for pit stops. Ooh, bit of contact there with Rudy C trying to get past Sadistic King. I think no blame can be put on Sadistic King there. Just doing his job, leaving room for the driver he knows on quicker tyres. Godly Noob won last round. So. There we go, Sadistic King passing his teammate there. Also, side by side with Godly Noob. I think Godly Noob may be in the wrong here, squeezing him a bit. But both drivers, no permanent damage, nothing too disrespectful. Sadistic King not giving too much. Ooh, dodgy. Nobody died too much, not too much of a problem, but both these drivers lost a lot of time because of that. This is good for Captain Nick though, as he's able to focus on this fight with Real DC. Daru moving up. To be fair, Sadistic King is fighting for position. He doesn't have to give up position if he doesn't want to. Well, from a strategy point of view, he doesn't have to. If he's in a party with Captain Nick and working with him, then it could be working to help the other Renault get that win. But yeah, Sadistic King will be pitting the next couple of laps for softs. So Real DC sends it past his teammate. Now the driver on the older tyres. Captain Nick also looking to get past, and there we go, through past Aerovoice. Oh, well, apparently not. Aerovoice with much more ERS. Goes deep. Now they'll also let Godly Noob through for free. So that's advantage Godly Noob in this battle. Now these three do need to be careful. Theoretically they should be able to catch up with Daru and involve him in the fight, and they will want to. They want to help themselves get the win. This is the lead battle, and there appears to be quite a few of them in it. Tobe still needs to get past Aerovoice, but we should do that fairly quickly, perhaps into this last corner. Perhaps getting the slipstream on the straight through into turn 1. There's Alex pits. He'll be moving, I would suspect, onto the softs. And there we go, Tobe's through. And Captain Nick's got past Real DC somewhere when I wasn't paying attention. Looks like Godly Noob's also got past Real DC. But interestingly, Godly Noob opted for hard, so that put him at a disadvantage now, but an advantage in the last few laps, once the older tyres are starting to wear down. The stewards may look at that. It depends if it's reported or not. I don't personally believe Sadistic King did anything too wrong. The person he was fighting was just as much in the wrong. He had no right. He wasn't required to give up the track position. There's nothing wrong with fighting a driver, even if they aren't technically your battle, as long as you don't do anything against the rules. You can slow them down as much as you like, as long as it's within the rules. And there we go, Clerpiar inherits the lead as Dragon and Jay Hartnell pit. Now Captain Nick's job is to catch up with Daru. And he'll be hoping that Godinu doesn't cause too many problems so he can let that happen. Interesting to see if he decides to try and work together with them. Of course, Godinu knows he just needs to stick close behind, play the long game. So yeah, that gap closing now within 1 second. Captain Nick Daru, and that's now DRS range, and that does mean that he'll be getting suspected to be overtaken in the next couple of laps. With Clerpiar into the pits here, Daru now is going to inherit the lead, which means that very few of the field still need to pit. Certainly none of the drivers nearer the front. Perhaps that driver on big balls, 12 mediums may need to, but the rest of them seem okay. Now Captain Nick challenging for the lead. And... ooh, he's through. Very respectful racing, just leaving each other enough room while still keeping it competitive. And that is a safety car. Why is that a safety car? Saw a bit of debris from the Williams there. It may have been that contact that caused it. There's a slow Ferrari here. No, that's because of the Delta. So not too sure what caused that, but Captain Nick threw into the lead just before. Now with 13 laps to go, will these drivers decide to go onto some fresh softs or choose to stick with the tyres they're currently on? Captain Nick has the disadvantage, he can't see what the drivers behind him are doing, and he has to pick first. So a lot of pressure on him in terms of strategy. I'll see what he does, but if he's going to pit, he needs to do it this lap. There's no, not going to pit. Real DC chooses to pit. Any of the other drivers, Dragon, fake pits, Big Balls pits. The little one, Alex. Yeah, all these guys further down the order, they just want a fresh set of softs for the last 12 laps. Hope Jay Williams pits on his tyres. Yep. Now what this does mean is there's a fairly high chance that fastest lap will once again not actually give a bonus point. But we'll see how this... what did I press? That one. We'll see how this goes, because our top 7 drivers, some of the only ones not on fresh softs. Fez and Pluck are on mediums. I don't know if he expects extreme tyre wear, but seeing as some guys managed to get softs around 17 laps, what, they're going to have 12 racing laps on them. That sounds perfectly doable, so we'll see how he manages, but I don't think he'll do too well amongst the crowd. Maybe getting a few positions towards the end, we'll see how that works for him. There's a funny sounding car in that field somewhere. Not sure which one it is. It does kind of sound like a goat, the engine. I think it's either the Ferrari or the Racing Point, Tobes or KXI. And I'll hop on board with them. It's KXI. Yeah, no, I can see why now. He's got a very... We'll hop on, off him. Bit of a glitched gearbox. Of course, this gearbox will still be working normally for him. It's just... It's on our end. We can see that problem. Won't be affecting the driver's race. Just means that every now and then we'll hear a goat in the background. So I suspect the safety car might be coming in this lap. But we will see. Yep, safety car in this lap. Now Captain Nick, significant advantage over the drivers. The two drivers behind him actually, both on the hards. One on older hards. And it also controls when he goes. Ooh. Not gone yet, there he goes. Oh, and now Godly Noob right alongside Daru. This is good for Captain Nick if they're going to be fighting. Yeah, and he's straight through, although you would more likely want Daru fighting him. Oh, and Daru may have just died. Daru's just died. Now that has not brought out a safety car. Despite the previous safety car came out when the front wing snapped, this one will not be coming out after a car. Sadly, yeah. It's a shame for Daru, it being one of his first races, might even be his first. Don't think I've seen him before, unless he came from another tier. No, that's such a shame after the good race he had. He was on for a podium potentially, and now that happening, not at all a fun experience for him. I think certainly it's a race he can look on and be proud for certainly the first half of it. It is one of the quickest races on here so far. Nick has managed to get himself a 1 second lead over Godly Noob, so DRS is not something he needs to worry about too much. However, Godly Noob will be worrying about Tobes, who's on a fresher and softer compound. So all that will be working in Captain Nick's favour. Yeah, I think Godly Noob is the king of qualifying in this tier. Certainly the king of Q1 and 2. Oh, now that gap to Captain Nick closed up a bit. Godly Noob really quick through this sector. Now where is he when the DRS line comes up? Depends on this last corner. Could have been quicker. Ah, he's not got DRS. Tobes... Oh, DRS isn't even re-enabled yet. I'm an idiot. Tobes is much closer, and Dragon actually closer to him yet. We'll see what happens here. It does, however, look like Captain Nick gradually pulling away for that win. Jay Hartnell with a mistake further down the order. So another position down, might even lose it to Pheasant Plucker. Don't think it's quite close enough. But yeah, you can see the skill on Godly Noob as he closes his gap down through the middle sector. The one advantage these top two guys have is that third and fourth are penalties. And that'll be working huge benefits for the top two guys. certainly both in morale and of course result. Not sure if they can see the penalties or not, I can never remember. I think they can see they have penalties. Don't think they can see how much. Yeah, a few passes further down the order. Ooh, Dragon passing Tobes. Ooh, looks the cutback, but actually Dragon perfectly times that breaking point, manages to park it on the apex. Tobes could have tried to sweep it around the outside, but I don't think it was quite expecting Dragon to hold the line that well. Just looking for the cutback and it wasn't going to happen. Golly Noob now though, closed that gap up front a bit, pulling away from Dragon. Yeah, I think Godly Noob's managed to get himself into that qualifying brain. Able to treat this like hot lap after hot lap. Of course, doesn't want to hurt his tyres too much, but they've got more wear and tear to them than Captain Nick's. And certainly Godly Noob is an absolute beast in the middle sector at the moment. Now, don't think he's going to get moved on this lap. Because we can already see more healthy ERS and Godly Noob. No. Not able to get the move done yet. Another opportunity for it here. Well, we are going to have a look at this battle further down. Clerpiat, the inside of KXI. Clerpiat now looking to get past Kyle, who I believe also just got past KXI, so that's 2 positions for KXI in not much time. But of course this is the group of soft drivers who pitted for fresh softs while he's on those old hard tyres. So he's going to be passed fairly soon, swallowed by the herd. Now this is the interesting thing, is he close enough? Does look like Captain Nick got a better exit out the corner actually, but Captain Nick using his ERS, while Godly Noob choosing to save it more. Still not close enough. Can Captain Nick fend it off, or is he going to try and let him through and pass him back later once he's got his ERS more healthy? Because that does seem to be his problem at the moment. Although with these two battling, we may see Dragon close the gap. Dragon not a slow driver either. Looks battle further down. Oh, Jamie Robertson retired. Was that a car? That's an on-track retirement. I think that may have been a car into the wall. And that's a safety car. This might work in the favour of Captain Nick. Allows him to replenish his ERS, means there'll be no DRS when they get underway, I don't think. So all he's got to do is just outdrive Godly Noob for a few laps. Jay Hartnell. Oh, actually, no, not pitting. Sadistic King sensibly pitting. Of course, being the man at the back on the lead lap. The only man who wouldn't lose positions by doing so. Sounds like KXI's car now. Oh, the gears are behaving. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm not sure if there'll be 2 or 3 racing laps. But either way, Captain Nick is going to have to do his best to hold up the fight. Not sure if it'll happen. Certainly seemed to have a good getaway last time. We'll see if he can pull the same again. Of course, he's going to have the same advantage. The Dragon on this fresher, softer tyres does stand a good chance of causing problems for Godly Noob. Dragon can get Godly Noob into the first turn, and that might help solidify Captain Nick's victory. In fact, while we're waiting, I will have a look at the top 2 drivers and see if either of them have any penalties. Or sorry, warnings. 1 warning for Captain Nick and 4 for Godly Noob. I'm impressed. He's got 4 and not got a single penalty. So Godly Noob knows he cannot afford a single warning or he will get a penalty. Meanwhile, Captain Nick has a bit more leeway. Well, these guys further down, we know these guys have got, yeah, penalties. Very bad lap, what? 16 for Dragon there. But we get back on board and listen to those engines. So I think safety car's probably coming in this lap, which will leave 3 laps of racing. And if so, we'll jump on board with Godly Noob. Yep, safety car in this lap. That means 3 laps defending for Captain Nick. Well, actually, I think Dragon might have a more enlightening viewpoint. Still not going yet, bringing up the pace a bit. Godly Noob perhaps too close. Dragon, not a great start by him. And it looks like Pheasant Plucker's already gained 2 positions. I don't think the game will be too happy with them there. Oh, looks for another, not able to get it. Now these guys were looking for payback. And much as exciting the battle is, we are enjoying the battle up front for the lead. Because this will affect who the winner is quite heavily. Captain Nick got a decent getaway. Ooh, nearly contact between that 3rd and 4th place. McLaren sticking his nose in. Nearly doing what Hamilton did to Albon. So Godly Noob not close enough to pass the main straight this time, unless Captain Nick gets a bad exit. Godly Noob seems to go too quick into that last corner and lose some time there. I think that's somewhere he definitely needs to work on. Yeah, no, not able to gain time there. So 2 more laps of defending from Nick needed. Stick it onto penalties now. Tyres. I should alternate between the 2, but you can see, yeah, Carl's not in a great position where he is. PR on his softs, we're looking to get past some of these guys in mediums. Hoping to get up to 4th maybe if he can. PR currently 15th in the championship, so this would be a good score for him if he can finish in 5th. That would get him, yeah, 20 points. That'll maybe put him in the top 10. Now, Godly Noob not close enough to pass here again. But Captain Nick used all his DRS defending, and now with DRS working against him, just needs to defend this one last lap. Godly Noob, he did better through that first few corners. Captain Nick not covering the inside. That's an interesting choice. Looking for the cutback. Ooh. And golly, Noob's gone wide because of that. Didn't quite... Oh, that's hard to say. Captain Nick will cross the line and it'll say he's in first. What the stewards have to say about that is hard to say. Captain Nick slightly cut off. While it was his car that forced Golly Noob over the line, gave him the warning, gave him the penalty. Will the stewards take away that penalty when they see what caused it? We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But Golly Noob to cross the line up front in second position. Captain Nick in first, and our race winner, provisional race winner, I must say, Dragon Speed Club, Yartobes. Oh, orders changed a bit due to penalties. Interesting. We will see who gets that win. I will announce it at the end of qualifying next race, for those of you who aren't in the Discord and can't see. But I suspect this will be a win that is contested by Godly Noob, and understandably so. It was quite a dodgy incident and it really could be called either way. Yeah, there is a little bit of off-track talk going on. To be fair, fairly civilised, but he's calling him out for his driving. But here we go, Captain Nick, for the moment clutching the win. Who got fastest lap? Jamie Robertson. Let's see, yeah. Shimanu DNF'd. But here's your final order, and here's our podium of 3. Now, we'll get Captain Nick and Golly Noob in for post-race interview. Dragon on Speed doesn't have a mic or doesn't like using it, I'm not sure, but he won't join, so it'll just be those top 2. Hopefully it's not too much of an argument, but we'll see. If it does turn sour, then I'll do my best to break it up. But for the moment, I will try and get them in. In fact, I'll ask them first, just to avoid too many problems. Because that certainly was, I mean, they got what, first and second. It's just a case of who gets first, who gets second. Right. I'm going to invite them to an interview and see what happens. None of them have said no yet, but none of them have said yes. So, I will throw that away and see what happens. It's hard to say. I'm honestly not really sure who I'd give that to. It really could go either way. If it's considered that see if they decide to join. Quite high on adrenaline and therefore might get a bit angry or decide not to join. Wait, can you not hear me at all? Sorry, my audio should be back. Yeah, it cuts off whenever I go into the menu to sort out inviting people to the party. I didn't know I couldn't be heard when I was doing that.
Hello.
Hello. Bit of a controversial finish.
Yeah. See what is... Are we all in here? Has Godly Noob been here yet?
No, I've invited him to the party.
Okay.
So, we'll see.
Yeah. Did you catch it on the stream?
Yes. I think...
well, you're not a steward.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
Well, actually, as of yesterday, I'm a steward, but obviously I can't individually give a thing.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to, on that left sweeping hander, did he cut you off? Because if he did cut you off, then it's his fault for getting pushed wide, and if he didn't, then you pushed him wide.
Yeah. Here he is.
Yeah. Congrats on the podium. I'm not sure who's going to get the win, in all honesty. It could go either way. But do you know if you've got your audio sharing enabled so you can be heard on the stream?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, so certainly an interesting last lap.
Yeah. We'll see what the stewards say. I know it was obviously fighting, but
yeah, it's definitely definitely
it's all
going to be
last lap as well, isn't it? That kind of thing. But
yeah, we'll see. For me, it's 50-50 as to what happens.
Well,
whatever
actually,
the stewards decides what they decide, right? You can't really change what they're...
I just messaged Godly, and you were saying about the other one, which I'd forgotten about, but there was one into, end of the first DRS straight, that double left turn, and there were 4 cars there. So that'll be an interesting one as well, because we all sort of fanned out, all trying to overtake each other, so, yeah. What happened at the start? There was a massive crash at the start.
I couldn't really catch that because it was quite broken from my point of view. So everyone was ghosted. It was saying it was like lap 2 or 3 or something on the first lap, and like none of the order was correct. So it's quite hard to follow who was even in first, let alone. I saw a couple of cars spin around, and I saw Luca got. I think he said he turned into someone, got pushed off, and hit a wall. I know Panda got DQ'd.
Didn't you get spun at the start as well, Godly?
Yeah, I did. I got spun, and then it was just a horrible first lap. Thank God for that safety car. So.
Well, mate, you laugh. I don't know if you could tell, maybe you could, but I've never led at a safety lap randomly. I've won a race or so, but never started a safety car, and then I get 2 in one race.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off when I went in, and I forgot to change from hards to mediums.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Every week I know how fast you are, so I knew on the hards that you'd still be catching me, and you were slowly. There was a few times where down the if you call it the first straight, you know what I mean, where I pulled away because of the mediums. But as the laps went on, I slowly started not being able to do that as much.
I didn't want to go on the mediums or the hards at all. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I could see, Godly Noob was amazingly quick through the second sector and gaining on you the whole way. It was that kind of last left-hander. He was slightly too quick into it and lost a bit of time coming out. And that combined with being on a...
In the middle sector, after you do the fast rights, there's a slower right and then a double left. Every time there, he was straight back behind me again. Way faster than that.
Yeah. Right, well, congrats on the podium. I think I can safely say that. Which of you will get the win, we will see. Actually, you two are right neck and neck for the championship. Godly Noob's currently 1 point ahead, so...
Oh, yeah. We are quite close.
Oh, fuck.
So I think, you'll be jumping up to 4th and 5th, but who will be in 4th?
Arch nemesis now, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, on to Spa next race, so...
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That'll be another good one.
I really don't like Brazil, so I'm amazed that I've managed to do as well as I did today. I think I was just consistent. Yeah, we'll see how we get on with Spa though. I don't mind that one as much.
But no, both great tracks in terms of racing.
Oh yeah.
You've got your good technical sectors and you've got your overtaking opportunities, and you've got your wacky overtaking opportunities. So
Yeah.
I hope it rains.
Yeah.
I love rain.
I tell you what, actually, the rain that came in Q3 made qualifying really fun today.
it was
a bit of
interesting.
crazy qualifying.
I assume you
It
saw
was interesting.
in Q1, P16 was 301 thousandths behind.
I know. It was
That
so
was
close.
just mad.
I think
I've
I made
never
Q3, but I was 10th in Q2 by like 1700s or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was
So
something like
close.
that.
Qualifying was nice and close.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was one of the best qualifyings I've seen, even by this tier standard.
Yeah, like you say, the first Q1, I think pole was 1.72, and then it was like down to 1.76 or 7. So literally nothing in it. Something ridiculous like that. It's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, congratulations to you two. Again, no official results yet, but whoever gets the win, thoroughly deserved.
Yeah.
And yeah, good luck with your Spa adventures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And
Cheers all.
yeah, we'll see how your
Cheers.
rivalry develops in the rest of the championship. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Look forward to the rest of the races. Thanks very much.
Yep. See ya.
See you, boys.
Right, so there we go. Those two drivers both been very civilised about it. Of course, except it's just racing. Yeah, so see how that goes in terms of which driver gets given the win. As I said, I'm really not sure which way it'll go, but I'm sure it won't be a simple decision by the stewards. It'll give the Alfa Romeo some screen time, as that may have also got the win. So yeah, from me, that'll be goodbye until next week at Belgium, the Spa Grand Prix. See if it rains or not. I myself am actually due to go to the Spa Grand Prix in August, so certainly a track that, yeah, forward. But so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I highly recommend you go towards and have a look at Tier 1 race. They will be right in the midst of it. I'll see how they're doing. Nathan, actually, the league, one of the main league's owner, currently leading the race, so that looks to be an interesting one. But I highly recommend you go and watch that. There's some very, very quick guys there. And from me, that will be goodbye.